habla desde Cuba, Habano MC. Salsa, salsita, de los viejos tiempos, mira qué rica. Salsa, salsita, te la traigo hoy con reggaetón. Salsa, salsita, de los viejos tiempos, mira qué rica. Toda la orquesta aquí reunida, para que tú goces, te da la bienvenida. Esto está que arde aquí con mis compadres. Arrímate pa' acá y no te me rajes. Este es salsón con reggaetón. Tienes sandunga, escucha mis rumbas. Si a ti te encanta.
Hey Star Draft TV viewers, this is your girl Susie here with Timbale Panama, ready to interview for your entertainment. So going right in, tell us, where are you from?
Originally born from Philadelphia, PA. Born and raised. Pretty much this is where I've been my whole life.
Where's your family from?
My father's side, my father was raised here in Philadelphia, but my father's side is originally from Panama, and my mother's side is from Puerto Rico.
So you're a nice little mix.
Yeah, a Pan-Rican.
Pan-Rican.
Mm-hmm.
What does music mean to you?
Music to me I think is pretty much an expressive way of people's feelings. I mean, it could be from being sad, happy, you know, just all emotional, you know, expressions that people can express themselves to you know, through music. Music is to me anything, you know. To me it's everything, and it brings me life. You know, it gives me a reason to live, you know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, you know, it's the same thing for them too.
Cool. So what even inspired you to become a musician and to pick up your instrument?
Well, what inspired me was actually my father, who played with so many famous musicians. I mean, he played with Tito Puente for 36 years.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I didn't start getting involved until I was 16 years old because I didn't know how to appreciate the music that I was around. And just being around celebrities my whole life, you know, meeting different people, and you know, by the time I was 16 years old, I was in high school, and I was, you know, a troubled teenager, and I needed to find something that would fit myself, to know who I am, you know what I mean, and what am I part of. And music, you know, my father is the one that, you know, just watching videos from him performing, you know, I mean, him to be able to do things that other people can't do, which is, you know, his speed, you know, and that's one of the main reasons where I got into music.
Cool. So Timbale Panama, where did the name come from?
Timbale Panama. I actually, I came up with that name. I was formerly known as Teddy Panama Tercero. My father trademarked his name. His name was Teddy Panama Jr. My grandfather was Teddy Panama Sr. And my father trademarked his name, so so when he did that, I came with Timbale Panama, so this way, you know, when I'm doing shows, stuff like that, this way, you know, I'm not using a trademark name.
Right.
And I came along, and people complimented me on that name. It's different, you know. I thought, hey, you know, I'm gonna stick to it. You know.
So it separates you from your father, then?
Yeah.
You both
create my own image.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So I've seen you work with a lot of Hispanic musicians. Tell us, tell all the Star Draft TV viewers, how was your experience?
Oh man, I had many experiences, and the crazy part is I had more experience even being in the reggaeton industry. Just, you know, just meeting people and being able to just meet a lot of, you know, well-known famous celebrities, and be able to work with, you know, just worked with them, and even just promotions and stuff. I mean, I worked with Hector El Father. I met good friends, Yagi Imaki, Julio Voltio, Nicky Jam, Joely Grande, Tony Dice. I mean, wow. So many. It's been fun, and you know, as in the salsa industry, you know, the salsa industry is not as big as reggaeton. Reggaeton took everything over.
Yeah.
And that's why a young guy like me is trying to get young people to come back to it, you know.
So appreciate the salsa.
Yeah, and as far as working with you know, people in the salsa industry. I mean, my father is probably the biggest one because him and his father, which is my grandfather, are the first people to ever have a Latin jazz band in Philadelphia in history. They're actually, I believe, in a wall somewhere. It's in the history of Philadelphia. It's actually established as the first Latin band in Philadelphia. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. That's great information, right? So, in the future, are there any artists you would like to work with?
Oh man, well, I would have to say, yeah. I mean, there's artists named, you know, I wish I could have played with Tito Puente myself, but yeah, unfortunately he passed away, and you know, after he passed away, my father, he actually sat for a little while, and it wasn't until my little sister who actually re-inspired him to become the musician he once was, and now, if anything better, and same for me. You know, I would wish to play with him. There's this great musician out there, Igor Castillo, a nice timbalero, Manuelito Rodriguez, he's from Puerto Rico. What's another name? Juvenci Aguilera, he's from Spain. All the top musicians of the world. I YouTube a lot of musicians. This is how I learn from my talents, and to be able to, you know, take things from different people and create my own style. And my father just, you know, I wish I could play with my father again, and you know, progress with him. But unfortunately, you know, he's traveling, and I'm pretty much creating my own image.
Yeah, yeah. So many of your followers and fans do know about your father, and you've mentioned it a few times about your father and grandfather. Mm-hmm. And it seems like you're coming from a long history, and blood is, the talent is in your blood, it seems, mm-hmm. right? With even your sister. So tell us, how was it growing up?
Growing up, I mean...
Were you forced to play?
I was never forced to play. Like I said earlier, I chose to pick up the timbales myself. You know what I mean? One thing is, just like any other pretty much human being, wants to be successful, be famous, be well known for something. And me, I wanted to be well known for something that once was big, and to make it big again, which is the salsa Latin music industry and timbale itself, to become something that a lot of people can't do, but yet I can learn how to teach them, to learn and to be able to use that instrument, to
appreciate.
Yeah, to appreciate the Latin music, because a lot of people don't appreciate it.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately. So, if you could play at any venue in the world, in any country, where would you be?
I would, honestly, I would love to perform in Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico, what people don't know is Cuba is actually the originator of what salsa is, and unfortunately, with a lot of things going on there, I would rather go to Puerto Rico.
Cuba.
Yeah, and I've been to Puerto Rico once when I was 12, and I did not get to enjoy what I can enjoy now, being as 23, going on 24, and going to the nightlife, and because that's where a lot of the musicians are coming from, Puerto Rico. So I would say, yeah, Puerto Rico.
Cool, cool. So, as a Philly native, right, having been educated in the Philadelphia School District, tell us your opinion on the talks of removing the musical productions from the education curriculum.
Well, I think as far as if they remove it, it's very, very a negative move by the city itself, or if any other city ever tried to do that, because being knowledgeable of what music can do and inspire, and a lot of people don't realize that music, everybody is inspired by music. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is. But being involved with an instrument, to actually know where the music actually came from, that to be distracted or taken away from, that's something that I don't agree with. And I actually despise people who actually do stuff like that. And I actually had people try to do that to me, try to take my instruments away, and it's not a good feeling. Especially if one thing is, if your child is trying to be something with music, or especially a musician, you never would take away his passions. Never to take away, because that's pretty much what he wants to do, and that's what he wants. That's what he has.
Yeah,
that's his love. You don't take anything that you love from somebody, especially even your spouse. You know what I mean? You don't take somebody that you love away, because that's the most that can hurt anybody. You know what I mean? I have a lot of things happen to me.
So, talking about your dog, right? So, outside of music, do you have any other passions and talents?
Actually I do. Regarding as me not performing, I always like to stay involved in nightlife. I'm a club guy, you know, I like the attention, not too much, but, it gets kind of crazy, but I like, you know, helping people. That's one of my main things. I like helping people, especially if they're involved with what I do, or if I know somebody that can help them. I love helping people in every way. It's like I'm working with a record label right now, an upcoming record label. It's called Tortilla Records.
Look out for that.
Yeah. Gilberto Barcos Jr. He was actually knew his father. His father was a musician, a salsa musician,
Cool.
and created a studio. So I'm trying to help them, you know, from my knowledge, and they do the same for me as if, you know, doing my recordings. So and many other passions is just I just like spending time, you know, with my kid. I have a it's going to be one that, in March. His name is Julius. Beautiful blue-eyed baby. You know, my good thing is my baby mother. She's, you know, gave me a beautiful son. I always got to thank her for that. So. And other than that, you know, I'm a family and music, nightlife. That's it. You know?
Family, music, nightlife.
Yeah, and God.
And God. Always gotta thank them.
Yeah.
Okay, so with exploring your musical talent, tell us, to start draft viewers, what struggles have you faced?
I faced many struggles. A lot of times, you know, I went through my struggles, even just through my family, and a lot of things I regret. And there's a lot of things that I was misunderstood, because a lot of times parents these days, they don't realize that you know, they love you so much, but they don't realize what they're doing sometimes. You know what I mean? And I've been through so much, you know, with just being misunderstood, and I made some slightly bad decisions, and the other decisions I made, nobody really saw the point of the decisions I was trying to make. You know what I mean? And, you know, I was never really a school type person, and, you know, not a lot of people are, and, you know, I mean, there are some people that, you know, like to go to college and stuff like that, and my family, you know, like, they kind of like were upset that I was not that type of person, because as much as I have so much passion towards music, and before, you know, just when I was starting to learn, one thing is you have to have timing in doing this music, as in performing and stuff like that, because if you don't have timing in music, you know, you're pretty much nothing. Like,
right.
You know, you could be as fast as you want, and you go off time, and it makes you look like, you know. And I had trouble with that too. That was one trouble that definitely, you know, kind of held me back before, is my timing, and just like
timing and playing.
Yeah, and because I was so focused on speed, you know, I mean, a lot of people focus on speed and stuff like that, and you need to go with the music, you know. So that was kind of one thing before it was holding me down, and I just was learning to, you know, overcome that. And you know, again, going back to being misunderstood by my family, you know, I'm very family oriented. I get hurt as much as like I could act tough, because a lot of people are like that, but it takes a real man to show his heart. Even in my relationships before, I mean, I had like 4 previous relationships where I felt like I was in love, you know. It's like, this is the woman, you know what I mean? And, you know, I got so hurt, you know, I cried my butt off, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, that's one thing I had too, is I had women problem, you know what I mean? Now I can't, you know, stop, because of the business, yeah, you know what I mean? So it was, you know, it was very unfortunate, because it was harder for me to give the heart that I wanted to give, that I used to have, to the mother of my child. As much as she was, you know, everybody's kind of crazy, but, you know, the mother of my child, she did the most out of any other woman that could ever do for me, including her family. Her father is a good friend of mine, but, you know, my family, I had so much to struggle with them, and I've been on the streets, I slept on benches, I've been in prison twice, you know what I mean, and I didn't even do it. you know what I mean? But being in prison alone, I got stabbed and being in prison, and my stepfather was the warden of the Philadelphia prisons. So actually, people thought I was a rat because everything is, if you're a rat, you're in trouble. It goes back to the Italian mafia, you know what I mean? So like,
some other conversation.
yeah, you know, and that was my main struggles, you know, just, you know, go through all those things. And women, I had a lot of money too. I had houses, and you know, and just, you know, those were my downfalls. I had so many distractions, and it just got to the point where I wanted to put all that aside, take care of my family, myself, my child, and now in strictly music. And that's how I overcome it now.
That's cool. So with all those struggles, I'm sure you've learned a lot. Right?
Yes. Yes.
What words of wisdom would you give our younger generation?
Well, what I could say to the younger generation, and even the older generation, because a lot of times people are trying to pursue something, but they don't know how to do it, or they have so many distractions. But my words of wisdom would be, you know, just follow what you want to do. Keep following, just keep pursuing it until the point you know that you cannot do it anymore. Just keep doing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it. I will never stop pushing it until I know that somewhere or somehow that I'm either gonna know I'm gonna be successful or not, you know. And you know, always keep God in your heart, you know, and always keep your friends close. The people who really care about you the most. People who love you the most, and no matter what you go through, there's always somebody that has it worse than you. You know, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Mm. So, kind of going back to the music, and we talked a little bit about this. You said you feel like the reggaeton scene has taken over the Hispanic music, right? Compared to salsa. So, how do you feel salsa music is compared to the mainstream English music?
Salsa compared to be honest with you, compared to any music, I mean, I seen it pick up a little bit after a while, because, you know, just by the sound of by dancing and stuff, because a lot of things dancing has been being able to expand a little bit more. Not like the 70s and not like that, because the 70s, my father used to tell me everything was popping down here, you know what I mean? But you know, I seen it pick up a little bit, but I still think it's the most small genre of music, the smallest. And it's a shame, because, you know, it's such a very passionate, and it's the least vulgar or, you know, negative type of music. You know what I mean? It's such a nice music to listen to move to, you know.
It's the music for lovers, right?
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, it touched me, I know.
That's my opinion.
You know, but you know, and there's so much talent behind that. You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's my job, and, you know, whoever will work with me, or even you guys, to be able to express that, publicize it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So, I know this is not your first interview in life, right? Or even light to your work. Tell us what other forms of publicity have you gotten, and how does it differ from Star Draft?
Well, the other types of, I could just put it like this. I mean, I had interviews before, not like this. This is actually quite the best interview I ever had.
Thank you.
And shout out to Star Draft. But I had quite a few interviews and stuff like that. Publicity wise, just, you know, people know me for my background as my father, unfortunately. But for me as well too, because I got talent. But just going to clubs and stuff, like nightlife period has publicized me a lot. You know what I mean? Just showing up to places and be able to be around these celebrities and stuff like that, and the celebrities even know what I do. I mean, I was just recently with Baby Ranks, and you know, he saw my video, he commented on Facebook, because I told him, I said, you gotta check me out. You know what I mean? He knew about me, but he didn't know exactly, you know, how it was, you know. So me and him got kind of close, you know, and that's why I'm trying to help Total Dare Records out with. But yeah, this is the best interview. Point blank period.
Okay, so in wrapping this up, is there anything else you want to tell your fans, your followers, or even the Star Draft TV viewers?
Just like I said before, for the people that you know, want to do something with their life, not even just necessarily with music, or, you know, just keep pursuing what you want to do. You know what I mean? And if you have kids, look out for your kids first. Your kids are most important. You know, without your kids, you probably would be nothing. You know? And your family, and whatever it is you're trying to do, just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Until you know that you can't do it no more, or you become successful. And always just, you know, take care of yourself and be able to appreciate God has given you, because everything that exists right now is because of God. Don't let the devil foolish you. There's a lot of people getting foolish by him.
Yeah. Okay. And shout outs?
Shout outs to just all my friends, everybody who's, you know, been there, you know, for me, my family, you know, my father, even though he's a little, you know, but my baby mother, Juliana Andino, her family, my child, just everybody's been there for me. Ivan Mendez, Todo El Dia Records, shout out to everybody from Todo El Dia Records, Baby Ranks, and everybody who knows me, you know, even the people that hate me. Shout out to y'all. You know, I don't hate nobody, so.
Gotta give them love.
And Star Draft Music.
That's us. Okay, well, thank you again for meeting with us today and letting us interview you. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine.
Star Draft viewers, thanks for viewing.
Oye, te habla desde Cuba, Habano MC.